Well, hello and happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome back to the Y'all Heard podcast hosted by yours truly, Ella Burke. Episode 2, going strong, only my second day out here. No, it's been a lot of days of me just filming stuff and honestly not putting it out here because I'm still working on getting comfortable in front of this whole thing. So today I want to talk about something that I think has been extremely prevalent in the lives of my current audience and also my life, my friends' lives, my boyfriend's life. And that is post-grad, all things post-grad. I'm a year out. It's really crazy to say because time has flown by. Been a year of me doing this whole adulting thing, and TBH, I'm not great at it. I'm really learning. It's kind of a learning curve and a very big one at that. And yeah, I just want to spitfire 10 lessons that I have learned post-grad. And this isn't even just relevant to necessarily you having graduated. It's just any big life transition in general, transitioning from adulthood, whether that's after high school, after college, in between. I think a lot of these lessons are very important throughout the whole ride. So, yeah, here we go. I think creating this list of lessons really created an opportunity for me to sit down and reflect on what my life has looked like the past year of me trying to adult. To be frank, like I said, by no means am I good at it. I'm simply figuring it out like the rest of everyone else. And yeah, with that, we'll just dive in to lesson number 1, not rule number 1. None of these are rules. It's just lessons I've learned. Duh. Your first job isn't supposed to be your dream job, but if it is, that's great and that's awesome. And I love that for you, but not everyone is that lucky. It's just your first one. I was in a job post-grad. I learned a lot of great, valuable lessons about work environment and honestly myself and the standards and boundaries that I want to create essentially. And I met a lot of great people through it, but it honestly just ended up being something that wasn't for me. It was super high pressure, long hours. I started feeling it kind of chew into my mental, and I just wasn't really able to be fully present during times that I was spending with my friends and my family and just people that I love, and doing things that, you're supposed to partake in after work, like walking your dog without thinking about my job or what I had on my to-do list for tomorrow. I'm on my second one now and I'm only a year out, and that's totally okay. I think there's been a lot of pressure created not only by society, but parents, friends, family, whoever, and also yourself. I mean, I am someone who's always found my identity in achievement. I'm working on being a lot better at that, but it's just not something that's sustainable long term, and it's very unfulfilling. And I think there really is no norm in terms of what your career path looks like. Everyone's looks different. Lesson number 2. Post-grad life is very lonely. And I'm not even just going to, I'm going to pause. I'm not even going to just contain this within one box of post-grad. I mean, this could be any big life transition. It could be jumping into adulthood post-high school. It could be, what it looks like throughout, those 4 or 5 years that you are post-high school, not depending on your family anymore. And honestly, I recognize too that there are a lot of people that had to grow up a lot sooner than they should have, even in high school. And so adulting looks different from everyone. It's not an age. It's, I think, a mindset, and honestly something that's just forced on you at some point in your life. You just have to do it. So, but this applies to really anyone and everyone in terms of big life transitions. Life after post-grad for me and a lot of other people, it is very lonely and isolating, even if you're doing everything right. I think back to those first few months after I had graduated, and it really consisted of a lot of going to the grocery store, me crying on the way home from work, going to the grocery store, crying on the way there, crying on the way back. A lot of crying, honestly, and just feeling a really heavy sense of disconnect from the people that I loved. I would really get in my head because, when you're in college, you're constantly feeling affirmation, even just with simple human interaction with the people that you're around every single day, knowing that they're not mad at you, they don't hate you, they want to be around you, what have you. But I, was having to learn to spend time with myself. And in that, it was really, really rough for me personally. I was constantly, oh my God, do my friends hate me? And for me, a lot of my friends were still in college. And so, I'm getting to see all of these different things on social media and they're still having fun. They're still all together. And I was just feeling this really heavy sense of loneliness. And that's okay. Everyone's path is different, but I don't feel like this is something that people talk about a lot. You think, oh, I'm really excited for the routine. I'm excited to make friends at work. I'm excited to get drinks with my friends post work and, meal prep, whatever, make dinner, all the things that seem really great about adulting. But it's really hard once you come to terms with, I don't get these extensive breaks with my family anymore, like Christmas break, spring break, all of those good things. And just the amount of time that you're able to spend with your family. If you're like me, I moved to a different city. I'm in Oklahoma City. My family is still in Burke Burnett / Wichita Falls. And that was really hard for me because seeing my siblings especially grow up from a social media timeline and, obviously we FaceTime and call and text and all of that, but it's just not the same as being there in person. And I think I was able to get like a good refresher whenever I would go home for breaks. And so kind of coming to the realization that you don't have those anymore. I mean, it truly sucks. There's really no other way to put it. I cannot tell you even now the amount of times that I'm just like, I want my mom and my dad here. I want my dad to grill for me. I just want to be able to go in my mom's room and talk her ear off about whatever minor inconvenience I've had that day. And it's just not the same anymore, but that's okay. It's not bad. It's just different. And it takes some getting used to. I'm still getting used to it, and everybody gets used to it at different points in time. Third lesson, great transition lesson. Spending time alone isn't sad. It should be empowering, and you should get used to it. And it should be something that you start to prefer to do with yourself. I would say in terms of a lot of facets of life, I've been a very independent person, but when it comes to human interaction, I am very codependent, and I found that. I mean, living with roommates was honestly the best for me, I think, just because it's like I have my friends in the other room, I get to go sit on their bed, talk to them, vice versa, and it just stinks sometimes when you feel like you're by yourself, and I do have an 85-pound dog, that definitely makes me feel a little less alone, but it's not like he can necessarily verbalize what he's thinking and also affirm me in those moments where I'm really not doing too hot. So, yeah, no, spending time alone isn't a bad thing. It's all good in the hood. You truly, I think, have conversations with yourself that make you grow in ways that you didn't think were possible. And I think that's really good for everyone. I think I'm a better person since having spent a lot of alone time because I'm able to reflect on decision making, the choices I've made, all the things, and decipher how I want to be better moving forward, and also be able to better appreciate myself in some of those decisions that I am really proud of. So, yeah, no. Spending time alone, it's not a bad thing. Get used to it. And it's something I'm still working on getting better at. So yeah. Fourth one, routine is a suggestion. It's not law. I think there is a surge in social media trends that are portraying this lifestyle of every day looks not necessarily the same. I would just say every day is super structured and planned out and timed. That's not me. I wouldn't necessarily classify myself in type A or type B person, but definitely a type C, a little bit of a combo, because I can be kind of both. It just depends. But, meal prepping isn't always realistic. Eating at home isn't always realistic. Eating super healthy isn't necessarily always realistic. I'd like to be better at doing those things and kind of infuse those things into my lifestyle a wee bit more. But, working out doesn't have to be an everyday thing. I think it's really important to kind of listen to your body. What do you need? What do you want? Listen to your mental. It's not even just like your body. Like I'm not going to sit here and preach health and lifestyle and mantra, meditate, all the things, because that's like I said, I don't have shit figured out, if we're being totally 100% honest. But yeah, waking up at the same time every day, you don't have to do that. But definitely infusing those different things into your lifestyle that make you feel better, make you feel good, and make you feel more productive, that's great. You should do that. But it doesn't have to look the same every day. It truly does not. I can't imagine, honestly, I guess doing the whole content creation thing keeps you accountable in terms of what you're doing every day if you're wanting to create an aesthetic that's consistency. But it's just not for me. But if it is for you, all power to you. I'd love for you to be my sensei and for me to learn a bit more from you. So yeah, number 5, money will stress you out, but it shouldn't cage you in. This is not meant to sound tone deaf. I'm not banking and just money exploding out of my pockets by any means like possible. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just not. But while it is important to be responsible, I think a lot of times we think that these life experiences are super inaccessible to us when they're not. They are accessible. It just kind of depends on A, how you budget, and B, what you like to spend your money on. I think it's good to prepare and plan in advance, but also money and time are fleeting. Money always comes back. Time does not. So this is something that I honestly would have disagreed with hella like maybe a year or two ago, but now that I've lived a little bit more, gone on a few more trips, gotten some travel experience and all that, I mean, I think this is a pretty good perspective to have, and I'm glad that I do have it now. Obviously, you shouldn't be wasteful with your spending, and everyone's financial situation looks different. But whatever a fun experience looks like to you, whether that's taking a trip to Europe or simply going and having a few drinks with your friends, whatever, it is more accessible to you than you think. You just have to structure your finances in a way where you're able to make or allow, I guess, allowance for that. So yeah. Number 6. Honestly, no one cares about what you're doing, what you do every day, what you wear, what you say, as much as you do. And that's really, really hot calling kettle black. I'm not really even calling anyone out on anything, calling more myself out on stuff. This is something I'm still learning. Like I said on the last episode, this was a venture in which I truly had crippling anxiety over. I mean, and I'm really grateful for the affirmation I've gotten thus far from people just listening to that 13-minute episode. I use a lot of filler words still. I'm trying to be better at that. But, whether it be people from high school, people from college, people that I may not even know that don't like me, I let that get in the way for several months of me putting this out here and putting my all into it. And like I said on the last one, you can't hit a home run sitting on the bench. You just can't. I think life is so short to the point where it's like, if you want to wear something crazy, freaking wear it. Who the hell cares, honestly? I think it makes life more interesting, makes other people's lives more interesting or days more interesting. And honestly, it's a version of self-expression, however you self-express. Do whatever the hell you want, as long as it's not hurting yourself or other people. Nobody should care, and if they do, that says more about them than it does about you, period. Number 7. This is another one that I really need to get better at. You don't need to monetize your hobbies. I can't even say it without laughing. You don't need to monetize your hobbies. Saying it twice, so maybe it'll get stuck in here a little bit. You don't have to go spend a bunch of money all the time. While I do think going to dinner is a hobby. I do think it's a hobby. It's just a hobby I try to partake in a little less as time goes on. But you can knit, you can write stories, color, and even it doesn't even I'm not even saying don't spend money at all on your hobbies, but your hobbies don't have to be grand and luxurious and just crazy. Like I know Pilates classes be a little intense in terms of the hole it puts in your pocket. So, yeah, no. I need to learn that one a little bit better too, and if you have any suggestions of hobbies that you think would be good for me that I don't have to spend a shit ton of money on, I'm open. DMs are open, messages are open, everything's open because I literally just went to the estate sale that OKC just hyped up so much, and I bought it was heavily discounted, may I add. The ones that know that I shop discounted, but I did get this amazing philanthropist's very marked down Bottega bag, and it's really like my first legit designer, and I'm pretty proud of it. So, yeah. Expensive hobby. There you go. Honestly, maybe we should cut this whole damn lesson out because I'm so hypocritical. Wow. Oh yeah. Number 8. Not every feeling needs to be turned into a brand or a breakthrough. I think we've gotten a little too intense on the whole therapy talk thing. Not everything really is that deep. I mean, I was experiencing this yesterday, extremely overstimulated from just the day I had, and it was hot and muggy outside, which literally helps nothing and no one ever. And we were trying to find a place to watch the Thunder game at, and I just about broke down crying in the car because I was wearing jeans. I hadn't self-tanned, and I was like, I don't want God and everyone to see my pasty legs. They don't need to think, oh my God, these are the pearly gates of heaven. No, it's just my legs. Fair skin queen. Yeah, no. And I was so overstimulated and I started to tear up, and Carson's like, what is wrong? And I was like, yeah, I literally don't even know. Like, I have no idea. I was just hot and irritable and just a little pissed and overstimulated. It wasn't, my child, my inner child is crying for help by any means of the imagination. It was simply, I was just a victim of circumstance, and it was definitely first world problems to be having. So it's not that deep. Take a nap, drink some water, eat a snack, just chill, But sometimes it is that deep, and that's okay too. There's a lot of gray area on this podcast. Not everything is so black and white. And I think people need to realize that more. So I'm going to touch on. Number 9, everyone is on a different timeline, and literally no one knows what they're doing. I think we oftentimes look at stories of success and we're more focused on the success itself. That's a lot of S's. Rather than the time and the effort that it took to get there and the timeline. There are so many people that I look up to that their success or their big break, whatever that is, on a smaller scale, larger scale, happened at such a large variety of times. I think there's a lot of pressure to make it big in personal life, career, and we have all of these goals set for ourselves, whether that's marriage, kids, graduating, getting a job, getting a raise, making it big on TikTok, making a podcast blow up. And it literally looks different for everyone. And that goes back to my other lesson from earlier. Don't remember which number it is. Not going to go look either. No one cares more than you do. And the people that do care, it says more about themselves than it does you. Truly. Like, some big sister advice that I need to tell myself more often. And yeah, and I think it's hard too, because nowadays we're constantly scrolling and we're seeing a highlight reel of the peak moments in people's lives, and you're probably envious of what they have. But then if you were to be able to look at it at a deeper level and know what actually what that person's life consists of every single day, you may feel differently. You are simply seeing a highlight reel. I know I don't post my damn worst moments on my social media. I probably should maybe a little bit more, be a little more vulnerable, but I'm not posting shitty pictures that I look awful in and, posting I just had the worst day ever, or I just had to spend X amount of dollars on taking my dog to the vet or getting my car fixed. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. And I think more people should, because then I think a lot of people would feel a lot less alone. Hopefully this is an outlet for people to feel less alone, because I'll keep it real. Number 10, the world will feel kinder when you assume it is. I really love this one a lot. I really think that a lot of times what you put out into the world is what you receive. That's not necessarily applicable at all times. Shitty things happen to good people every single day. Life isn't fair, but it is more kind than I think a lot of us think it is. And I've seen that in a lot of interactions I've had, or just experiences I've had, even within the last year, where I realized that I'm taking so many things for granted, and interactions for granted, but it's truly these are the things that truly make life beautiful. I was working out at the Y the other day, not working out well, I'll tell you that. I skipped like a shit ton of sets, but it's okay. I did what I needed to, and at least I showed up. But I was working out in front of the windows where the pool is, and there was he was probably about 9 months old, this little baby sitting on the bench while his mom was getting him dressed and stuff, and he was facing me, and he starts smiling at me, and I start smiling. I can't help but smile back. I freaking love babies. They're like world's largest distraction to me, because I think they're just so interesting and just darling. And he's just smiling at me, and then he's like giggling, and then he starts hitting on the window to get my attention while I'm trying to proceed working out. And dude, it just truly made my day. And I need to start counting a ratio of how many people I smile at just randomly on the street, whether I'm walking in from the parking garage to work or walking in a store, of how many people smile back versus don't when I smile at them. I love smile backers. That's what I'm going to call them. I'm a smile backer all day, every day. And the people that aren't, I try to give them grace and think that, they're probably not having a great day, or maybe life just isn't doing too hot for them in the moment. But there are a lot more people that smile back than people that don't. And I think that goes to say something in terms of this entire lesson of the world will feel kinder when you assume it is. Things could always be worse. That doesn't invalidate the things that are bad, but things could always be worse. And not sound like a damn Hobby Lobby sign that you see in your grandma's house, but you can find joy in the little things. No, but seriously, it's true. But yeah, nobody's doing anything wrong. And honestly, I could go into a whole other laundry list of lessons that I've learned within this past year. People are shitty drivers. That's one thing. I mean, I'm finding really often there are a lot of moments in which I like almost get hit and kind of see my life flash before my eyes, but it doesn't really flash anymore. It's just kind of normal. Defensive driving is key. For show. Weaning off of your parents' subscriptions is really tough. Still on my mom's for Amazon. Shout out, Mom. Dad's got my phone plan. Shout out, Dad. We're on the same insurance. I mean, like, I Venmo and stuff for that, but it's a lot cheaper when you're together than when you're separate. I'm telling you. We looked at insurance policies, what mine would be without me being on my dad's. Holy hell. I mean, people that can milk it till they're 26, milk it. Truly. They do not set that system up for individual people to succeed, like, by any means. What are some other fun ones that I have learned? Oh, yeah. Do something at least one time a week that makes you feel good. Or do something for yourself. Mine normally comes in the form of getting my claws did, dogs did, or getting a wee overpriced beverage, coffee, matcha, whatever. I'm trying to get on the coffee train. I mean, it kind of makes me jittery and makes me spiral a bit. Like, just really, really speeds up the thought process, makes them, and makes my tummy hurt sometimes too. Goes right through me. TMI, but what this whole thing is probably TMI. Another one I've learned. Oh gosh, having multiple targets in one city rules. Maybe not for your bank account, but for your own, mental health and well-being, at least for mine. Awesome. Not having a Target in Stillwater probably saved me a shit ton of money, but it definitely did not do good for the mental at all, by any means. Another one, oh yeah, make time to see your grandparents and your family that lives a little bit further away. I mean, seriously, I feel so rejuvenated post leaving a trip to my meme and my popses and my UBs. UB's Uncle Brock. Any of y'all have seen Uncle Buck, you'll get it. But yeah, no, I feel so rejuvenated and also just more connected to them the more that I go and visit them. And Brock, I know you're not getting super old. You just turned 50, but Meme and Pops, not necessarily getting younger. That skin routine though for Meme, killer. Pops looking good too, for real. Both of them doing well, but you just never know. And spend time with your grandparents, call them, answer their texts, send them pictures of what you're doing. They care, they want to know. Sometimes they just forget to ask, and sometimes they forget to answer too. Their first time living too. What else? Oh, another lesson, one that I learned in college but have continued to employ throughout this past year. Shop at Aldi. Holy shit. You save so much money. I mean, they've got the stuff that everybody wants. They've got Poppy. Their meat that they sell there, way cheaper in my humble opinion. Some would say I don't have a concept of money. I'd like to disagree. Way cheaper than most other grocery stores. Produce too. Like, I don't know why the hell eggs are like $6 nowadays, but if you want to avoid that, go to Aldi. It's the best. I've saved so much money. I get what I need there. And then they also have like some fun stuff that you'll just be walking down the aisle, you see, and you're like, you're coming home with me. It's awesome. Clearance sections have been great to me. Got my fancy pants. I don't know if you can see, they've got like gold shimmer on them. They're like these jeans. Got them in the Target clearance section. That's awesome. Another lesson I've learned in relation to these pants. Learn to take compliments. I'm terrible at it. People will compliment like an article of clothing on me. Carson has called me out on this more times than one. Probably more times than all freaking digits on my fingers and on my hands and feet. Like, truly. When people say, oh, I love your shirt, I love your pants, I love your hair, whatever it is, my first instinct is to tell them how I did it, where I got it, what brand it is, instead of just being like, that means a lot. Thank you so much. I don't know why I have made this so hard for myself to do, but it's truly gut instinct, or not gut instinct. It's just instinct at this point to be like, ooh, I got it at X and I bought it Y and I got it for Z. Like, just say thank you. And again, a lot of these lessons are things I'm speaking into a mic and into a camera that I need, and I'm the one that needs to learn it. I'll watch it back and be like, girl, you were on one. That is good. And then there will also be times where I probably watch this back and I'm like, you didn't know what the hell you were talking about. We'll have to do this like one time a year. Hopefully I stay consistent enough to where we're still going in a year or two. So, but yes, again, I hate to say it unironically, but you may now review it. You had my permission last time, but I thought that was a little premature to be asking for reviews when I published a 13-minute episode that was probably mid with the number of filler words and how nervous I was. But, word vomit again, as I was saying, feel free to review. I would love a review. Tell me what you think. Like, share it with a friend, your mom, your grandma, your goldfish, your dad, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whomever. And subscribe, whatever platform you're listening on. Keep following along. I'll have better content as the weeks come. I've got cool stuff to talk about and do next week for sure. So I will see you next Tuesday. And yeah, hope you have a damn good day. Bye.